welcome. There is nothing you must do now and nowhere you need to be. Let your body grow heavy, let your breath lengthen, and let the room soften and dim around you. Tonight we rise into the warm high air and follow the most effortless of all flyers, the vultures. This is the Circadian Institute, where each night we wander somewhere vast or wild and let the slow wonders of science carry a tired mind toward sleep. Tonight we honor these calm soaring birds, the quiet guardians of the sky. If this voice helps you rest, subscribing keeps these long, calm nights coming. Nothing here needs remembering, and there will be no test when morning comes. The life of these great birds is gentle and unhurried, and their ease, told slowly, becomes a kind of comfort. You need only listen and let the rising air carry you. High above the warming land, a vulture rises into the morning sky. It moves without effort, holding its wide wings open to the air, barely stirring a feather. To begin tonight, picture that calm shape lifting higher and higher, carried upward on nothing but the rising warmth of the day. Of all the birds that take to the air, few fly with such ease. The vulture spends much of its day aloft, riding currents that climb from the ground, spending almost no energy as it goes. Its flight is among the most effortless in the whole living world. There is a deep stillness in the way it travels. While smaller birds beat their wings and hurry, the vulture simply leans into the wind and lets the sky do the work. You can feel your own breathing slow as you watch that unhurried, circling shape. It does not race, and it does not struggle. The great bird hangs in the open air as though resting on something solid, turning in wide and easy loops. This is the life we will follow tonight, the serene, unhurried life lived high upon the wing. Let the image settle in your mind, the broad wings, the bright air, the slow turning circle far above the hills. Tonight we honor these birds gently, as the peaceful guardians of the sky. Breathe in, breathe out, and let yourself rise with them. As the sun touches the ground, it warms the earth below, and the warmed earth gives its heat back to the air. That heat lifts in great invisible columns, rising from the plains and the slopes. These rising columns are called thermals, and they are the roads the vulture travels. A thermal is simply a tower of warm air climbing toward the sky. The vulture finds one and slips inside, spreading its wings to catch the lift. Round and round it circles within that rising warmth, gaining height with each calm and easy turn. Picture a wide bowl of land glowing under the late morning sun. From it, unseen ribbons of warmth are rising everywhere, each one a gentle elevator into the upper air. The vulture reads these currents the way you might read a familiar, well-loved path. When it has climbed high enough, it leaves the column behind. Tilting forward, it glides away in a long, shallow line, sinking ever so slowly across the miles until it meets the next rising tower of air. Then up it goes again, without a single beat of its wings. Climb, glide, climb, glide. This is the quiet rhythm of its day. By stepping from one warm column to the next, the bird can travel for hour after hour. It crosses enormous country while spending only the smallest measure of its strength. Because the rising air does so much of the lifting, the vulture can stay aloft far longer than most other birds. Its wide wings need only be held open while the thermals carry it higher. Hour after hour can pass with scarcely a wingbeat. Imagine giving yourself over to the wind that way, with no hurry and no effort, simply being carried. The bird does not fight the sky, it cooperates with it. In that cooperation lies the secret of its long and peaceful days aloft. Time seems to soften up there in the high blue. Morning melts into afternoon while the vulture turns and glides, never tiring, never rushing toward anything. The sky becomes a wide and open meadow it can wander for as long as it likes. This is how the great soarer searches the world below, by hanging in the heights and moving slowly across them. It covers ground not through struggle but through stillness, letting the air do the carrying. Few creatures live so lightly upon their own strength. So as your thoughts begin to loosen, picture those long, unhurried hours on the wind. No destination presses on the bird, and none presses on you. There is only the wide air, the slow turning, and the deep ease of being held aloft. The vulture is among the highest flying birds in all the world. It rises far above the mountains and the open plains, lifting into air so thin and clear that the land below grows small. From that great height, it surveys the world in calm silence. Think of how the earth must look from up there. Ranges of hills fold into one another, rivers shine like thin silver threads, and whole valleys lie open beneath a single circling bird. The vulture holds this enormous view with the ease of long habit. Higher than the peaks, higher than the passing clouds, it finds a vast and tranquil country of its own. The wind is steady there, the light is wide, and the noise of the ground falls away. It is a realm of pure and open space. From such a height, the bird can watch immense stretches of land at once. It reads the wrinkled country below the way you might gaze across a quiet room. Nothing hurries its survey, and nothing disturbs the deep composure of its flight. Let yourself float up to that calm altitude in your imagination. Feel how small the cares of the ground become when seen from so far above. Up here with the mountains beneath the wing, the whole world seems to rest in a single peaceful glance. Watch a vulture closely, and you may notice how little it seems to move. Its broad wings and light, efficient body let it hang almost motionless on the wind. It rests upon the moving air the way a leaf might rest upon still water. To steer, it does not flap or strain. A single feather tilted at the wingtip is enough to turn the whole great bird, easing it into a new and graceful curve. Such small adjustments guide it across the widest reaches of the sky. There is a quiet artistry in this. The vulture is a master of stillness held within motion, traveling far while appearing to barely move. It teaches without trying how much can be done with the lightest and calmest of touches. Picture that wide silhouette suspended against the pale sky, hardly trembling, perfectly poised. It seems less like a creature in flight than a shape painted upon the air, balanced on currents you cannot see. Watching it, your own muscles may begin to loosen and let go. So let this be the feeling you carry toward sleep, the sense of resting on something larger than yourself. The bird does not hold itself up by force, it leans on the air and trusts it. You too may lean back now and simply be held. From the calm of the upper air, the vulture watches over an enormous country. Plains and ridges and far horizons all lie within its gaze as it circles slowly overhead. It is a serene and tireless sentinel, keeping watch from on high. It does not search in haste. The bird lets the thermals carry it in long, easy spirals, and from each turn it takes in another sweep of the land. Mile upon mile passes beneath its steady, unhurried attention. Imagine being able to see so much at once, whole landscapes laid open beneath you, hushed and golden in the afternoon light. The vulture holds this vast picture without strain, as naturally as you might watch clouds move across a window. In this slow surveying lies a kind of guardianship. By drifting above the land and reading it carefully, the bird keeps quiet company with everything below. It belongs to the open country, woven into the rhythm of the sky and the ground alike. Let the scale of it soothe you, the great calm circle, the endless view, the single bird turning high above a sleeping world. To watch over so much and to do it so gently is a quiet and dignified kind of grace. These graceful soarers carry a gentle purpose through the sky. They are the great cleaners of the natural world, quietly returning what has died back into the living cycle of the land. In doing so, they keep the wide country healthy and whole. It is unhurried work, and it is essential. As the vulture glides over field and slope, it helps tend the balance of the world below, folding what is finished back into the soil and the seasons. The earth stays clean and renewed because of its care. Think of it as a tending of the land, soft and unseen. Through the bird, the old returns to the ground and feeds what will grow next. Life flows onward in a wide circle, and the vulture is one of its calm and faithful keepers. There is dignity in such a role, far from anything harsh. This is simply nature looking after itself, restoring and renewing through the work of a peaceful wing. The bird gives back to the earth even as it floats so freely above it. So we honor this gift gently tonight. The great soarer keeps the land healthy, returning life to the earth as it circles in the clean high air. It is a kind and quiet service, offered without effort beneath the wide and open sky. And so we come to rest with these serene birds of the upper air. All day they have ridden the rising warmth, climbing and gliding, holding their wide wings open to the wind. Now picture them still aloft, turning slowly in the fading light. They have shown us a way of moving through the world with ease, leaning on the air rather than fighting it, traveling far while staying calm. Few creatures live so lightly, and fewer still make their long days look so effortless and free. Let the day's weight loosen from your shoulders as theirs seems to loosen on the wind. The sky holds the vulture without strain, and tonight it can hold your tired thoughts as well. Breathe slowly and feel yourself grow lighter with each turn. High above the mountains and the plains, the great soarers keep their tranquil watch over a quieting world. They ask nothing and hurry nowhere, content to circle in the wide and open blue. Tonight we honor them as the peaceful guardians of the sky. So close your eyes now and rise with them one last time, up through the warm and rising air into the calm above. Let the slow circle carry you gently down toward sleep. Rest well beneath the steady wings of the guardians of the sky. Let us pause here a moment between one wonder and the next. There is no hurry to move on. Breathe out slowly and let the wide warm air hold you the way it holds a soaring wing. Above you, the great birds keep their slow turning, asking nothing of you tonight. You may simply rest beneath them, a small still point under a vast and unhurried sky. Feel how easy it is to be carried, lifted by something larger than yourself. Let your thoughts loosen and let the next part of our journey find you already at ease. A vulture's wings are built broad and long, spreading a wide surface that gathers the moving air beneath it. Their wing loading is so light that staying aloft asks almost nothing of them. The body rests within the wings the way a thought rests within a long, unhurried breath. Imagine those wings held level against the open sky, neither beating nor straining, simply present. The air moves across them and the bird answers by doing very little. This is flight reimagined as rest, a shape designed to hang upon the wind without weariness. Look toward the wingtips, where the outermost feathers spread apart like a hand of outstretched fingers. Each separated feather smooths the passing air and trims away the drag that would otherwise tug at the bird. The design is elegant and its purpose is ease. Because so little effort is spent, a vulture can remain in the air for hours without growing tired. The wide wings carry the weight, the spreading feathers carry the air. Together they turn the sky into a place where one may simply linger and stay. Picture the whole bird now as a single calm instrument of flight, every surface tuned to the air around it. Nothing about it hurries and nothing about it pushes. It is a creature shaped feather by feather to belong to the open and unresisting sky. Across the warming land, the sun pours down and heats the ground unevenly through the long hours. From these warmed patches rise thermals, invisible columns of warm air lifting upward into the waiting sky. They are pillars you cannot see, yet a vulture reads them with perfect ease. When a vulture finds the edge of a thermal, it tilts inward and begins to circle within the rising air. Round and round it travels, climbing without a single flap, carried upward by warmth alone. The spiral is unhurried, an ascent measured in patience and in air. Higher and higher the slow circles take it, until the land below softens into a quilt of muted color. The bird does not labor for this height. It merely accepts what the warm column freely offers. Lift becomes a gift, and the vulture receives it turn by turn. Once the thermal has carried it high enough, the vulture leans away and peels off into a long downward glide. It trades altitude for distance, sliding across the sky toward the next rising column of warmth. The descent is smooth, an easy exhale after a climbing breath. So the journey becomes a rhythm of rising and gliding, of climbing in warmth and falling toward more. Thermal to thermal the bird travels, threading the invisible columns into a single flowing path. It is a quiet conversation between the warming earth and the soaring wing. Not all lift is born from the sun's warmth upon the ground. When wind meets a ridge or a cliff, the moving air is pushed upward along the rising stone. A vulture leans into this current and rides it, a practice known gently as slope soaring. Picture the wind flowing across open country until it reaches the long wall of a hillside. The air cannot pass through, so it climbs the slope and spills over the top. The vulture waits within that upward flow, lifted by the simple geometry of wind and land. Along such ridges a bird may travel for great distances, holding the same easy height for mile after mile. It rides the invisible swell the way a boat rides a steady sea, balanced and unbothered. The cliff does the lifting. The wing only needs to stay. Whether borne by warm columns or by wind against a slope, the principle remains beautifully the same. The vulture lets the moving air perform the labor while it makes the smallest of adjustments. Hours pass this way, and the bird scarcely seems to work at all. A tilt of a feather, a slight shift of weight, and the great wings hold their course unshaken. There is a deep economy here, a way of moving that spends almost nothing. To watch it is to feel your own breathing slow to match its ease. Consider what it means to remain aloft for hours, held by air that costs the body almost nothing. Most creatures of the sky must beat their wings, spending energy with every stroke they take. The vulture has chosen another way, a way built entirely upon stillness. Through the long middle of the day, when thermals rise strongest from the warming ground, the bird wanders far. It maps the sky by feel, sensing where the air climbs and where it sinks away. Each invisible column becomes a step in a vast and airy journey. The smallest adjustments are all it needs. A feather angled here, a wingtip eased there. These tiny corrections keep the broad wings balanced upon the shifting living air. Flight becomes less a struggle and more a kind of attentive floating rest above the world. Below, the landscape turns slowly, rivers and plains sliding past in muted afternoon light. The vulture watches it all from its high and effortless perch upon nothing. Time loosens at such heights, stretching long and unhurried across the wide and open hours. There is wisdom in this conservation, this refusal to spend more than the air will give. The bird trusts the sky to hold it, and the sky obliges hour upon hour. In that trust lies a lesson about ease, carried on outstretched and untiring wings. Among all the birds that share our sky, vultures rank as extraordinary high flyers. They climb far above the reach of mountains, into regions where the very air begins to thin. Few living things have ever traveled so high upon nothing but their wings. One particular bird left a record that still inspires a hush of wonder among those who study flight. A Rüppell's vulture was confirmed at about 11,000 meters high above the lands of West Africa. It remains the greatest height ever verified for any bird. Try to hold that number softly in your mind as you settle deeper into rest. 11,000 meters is the altitude of the great jets that cross between distant continents. Yet there, in that rarefied blue, a single bird was soaring on living wings. At such an elevation, the world below becomes a faint and dreamlike curve of earth. The air is sparse, the cold immense, and still the vulture held its serene place aloft. It belonged to a realm we usually glimpse only through a small oval window. Let the thought carry you upward for a moment, into that high and silent expanse of sky. Picture the broad wings steady against the thin, bright air at the edge of the breathable world. Then let yourself sink back down gently toward warmth and sleep. How can a creature soar where the air itself grows thin and bitterly cold? The answer lies hidden within the vulture's chest, in a way of breathing unlike our own. Birds draw far more oxygen from each breath than human lungs could ever manage. Our lungs fill and empty, mixing fresh air with the old in a single crowded space. A bird, by contrast, moves air in one continuous direction through its remarkable system. Fresh air flows steadily across the tissues, and stale air is swept away. Helping this one-way current are the air sacs, light chambers spread throughout the bird's body. They act like bellows, pushing and pulling so the flow never falters or reverses. With every breath, oxygen reaches the blood in a smooth and unbroken stream. Because of this efficiency, a vulture can find enough breath where thinner air would leave us faint. The same sky that would steal our senses simply becomes another place to fly. Its body is tuned, lung and sac together, to the high and sparse heavens. So the great altitudes hold no terror for this serene and well-made traveler of the air. It breathes the thin sky as easily as we breathe the rich air of the valley floor. Engineering and instinct meet within one feathered breast, and the bird soars on. Step back now and consider the vulture whole, a single design refined across uncounted ages. The broad wings, the spreading tips, the tireless lungs, the love of rising air, all belong together. Each part answers another, and the sum is a master of the sky. Nothing in its shape fights the air. Everything in it cooperates with the wind. The light frame, the wide surfaces, the efficient breath all conspire toward effortless ascent. To be built this way is to be at home in the boundless ocean of the atmosphere. Think of how rarely such a creature must struggle, how seldom it spends itself in haste. It waits for the warm columns, it leans upon the wind-pushed ridges, and it climbs. The sky provides, and the body, perfectly matched, accepts what the sky provides. There is a profound serenity in a life lived so lightly upon the moving air. The vulture does not conquer the heights. It agrees with them, settling into their flow. Its mastery is not force but harmony, a quiet accord between feather and breeze. Hold that image as your thoughts begin to loosen and soften toward the night. A great wing held level, a warm column rising, a high and tranquil blue above. The bird is built for air, and the air, it seems, was built for the bird. As the afternoon ages, the thermals weaken and the warm columns begin to fade away. The vulture senses the cooling air and tilts toward home on a final lengthening glide. Its day in the heights draws toward a soft and gradual close. Down the long slopes of the evening air it slides, unhurried, conserving every measure of lift. The land rises gently to meet it, shadows stretching long across the quieting ground. There is no rush in this descent, only the easy logic of coming down. Picture the wide wings tilting, catching the last threads of upward moving air with practiced grace. The bird trades the high blue for the warmer reaches nearer the earth. Each glide carries it lower, smoothing the distance between the open sky and rest. The same body that mastered 11,000 meters now eases toward a simple roost. From the thin and brilliant heights to the gathering dusk, the design serves it still. What carried it up so high now carries it gently, surely down. Let the descending bird carry your own mind downward into stillness and into sleep. The wings settle, the air grows calm, and the long day folds itself away. Rest now as the serene guardian of the sky comes softly home to roost. Rest here again for a while. The sky asks no questions and keeps no count of you tonight. Let the warm air gather you in, soft and complete, and let the day's small weights fall away. Nothing in the high air is in any rush, and so neither are you. The vultures turn gently above, going nowhere in particular, content to ride the wind through the long, calm hours. Breathe in the quiet, breathe out the noise, and sink a little deeper into the warmth of your own rest. The journey will wait, unhurried, until you are ready. High above the land, a vulture turns in slow circles, and its eyes do quiet work that ours could never match. Most vultures find their food chiefly by sight, scanning enormous stretches of ground in a single unhurried glance. Picture how much world fits beneath a bird at that height. Fields, ridges, and the long shadows of afternoon all lie open below, and the vulture reads them the way you might read a page held close. Its vision is astonishingly sharp, sharp enough to pick out small details on the ground far away. What would be a faint speck to us resolves, for this bird, into something worth a second look. There is no hurry in any of it. The vulture lets the warm air carry it in wide arcs, and with each turn a fresh sweep of country passes under that steady, far-reaching gaze. Imagine resting at such a height, the whole landscape laid out and legible. The eye reaches for miles, and the bird needs only to circle, watch, and wait for the ground to reveal its small secret. Consider what it means to see across vast areas at once. A vulture aloft holds a view that spans valleys and plains together, and it moves its attention across that expanse with unbroken ease. The bird is built for this long looking. As it rides the rising air, its eyes comb the open country below, lingering on anything that breaks the familiar pattern of grass and stone and earth. Distance does not blur the picture for these watchers. Details that vanish for us at the horizon stay clear to a circling vulture, so a small change far off can catch and hold its notice. Think of the sky as a high and roomy perch. From there, the whole sweep of land becomes a single quiet field of study, scanned and rescanned with each lazy turn through the warm afternoon. Nothing about this asks for effort or strain. The vulture simply circles, letting mile after mile pass beneath its careful eyes, content to read the wide country until something gentle draws it lower. Vultures do more than watch the ground. They watch each other. When one bird begins to descend towards something it has found, others far away take notice and turn to follow its lead. In this way, word travels without a single sound. A change in one vulture's flight becomes a signal, and across great distances another bird reads it and shifts its own course to match. Picture the message moving outward, bird to bird. One descends, a second sees and follows, a third notices the second, and so news of food spreads silently across the whole reach of the sky. It is a kind of shared attention, spread wide and held in common. No vulture watches alone, for each is part of a loose and far-flung web of eyes that covers more than any one bird could. A deep restfulness lives in that quiet cooperation. The flock keeps its silent conversation going through the daylight hours, each bird both watching and watched, all of them reading the same open page of air. Imagine the sky crossed by many slow circles, each one a vulture keeping its own steady vigil. Though they may be miles apart, these birds are bound together by what they notice in one another. The whole flock becomes a single instrument of seeing. One vulture's keen eyes reach across the land, and the next bird's gaze reaches a little farther, until their joined attention spans the country. This watching costs them almost nothing. Riding the warm air, each bird needs only to hold its lazy turn and keep half an eye on its distant neighbors as they drift along the horizon. When a far-off vulture changes its line of flight, the others read the shift and answer. The message passes outward in an unhurried ripple, calm and certain, until the whole gathering knows what one has learned. Rest in the thought of that gentle togetherness. No alarm, no haste, only a wide company of birds keeping faith with one another across the open sky, each trusting the watchfulness of the rest. Among these birds there lives a rare gift. The turkey vulture of the Americas carries a powerful sense of smell, something unusual among birds who as a rule lean far more on their eyes. This bird does not need to see its food to find it. It can detect the faint gas given off in the very first stages of decay, a trace so thin the air seems to whisper it. Picture a forest roofed over with leaves, its floor hidden from any watcher above. The turkey vulture passes low and reads that scent on the breeze, finding what the sharpest eye could never see. So while other vultures lean on sight alone, this one listens to the wind itself. The nose becomes its guide beneath the canopy, leading it gently toward the small task that nature has set aside. Let your mind follow that low, searching flight. The bird threads the warm air above the treetops, breathing the faint message of the woods, sure of a sense that few of its feathered kin possess. Think of how much the world hides under a roof of green. Beneath a thick forest canopy, the ground lies in shade and secrecy, beyond the reach of any eye scanning from the open sky. Yet the turkey vulture is not turned away. Its keen sense of smell catches the faintest first hint of decay, a signal far too delicate for sight, and follows that thread down through the leaves. The air carries the message on the lightest of currents. The bird reads the wind the way another vulture reads the land, and what is invisible from above becomes plain to its remarkable nose. This is nature's cleaning carried out by scent. Guided by that faint trace, the turkey vulture finds food hidden where no other watcher would think to look, and quietly sets about its useful work. There is a deep calm in this hidden talent. A bird crossing the treetops, reading odors as we read light, finding its way by the wind, asks nothing of us but our quiet wonder. Many vultures wear a bald, featherless head and neck, and this is no accident of plainness. That bare skin is a clever bit of design, serving the bird in more ways than first meet the eye. The smooth head keeps a vulture clean as it goes about finding food. Where feathers would gather and hold what they touch, bare skin stays simple to keep, an easy surface that needs little tending. The naked neck does quiet work with warmth as well. When the air grows hot, that exposed skin sheds heat into the day, helping the bird stay comfortable beneath a strong and climbing sun. When the air turns cool, the same skin gathers warmth. The vulture turns toward the sun and lets it soak into that bare head, drawing in heat the way a stone holds the morning light. So the plain head is really a fine tool, balancing cleanliness and comfort together. What looks unadorned is in truth well made, tuned by long ages to the gentle business of a vulture's days. Draw these gifts together now and see the whole bird. Sight that reaches for miles, the shared watching of the flock, and for some, a nose that reads the wind itself, all working as one. Each sense answers a different need. The far eye finds what lies in the open. The linked gaze of many birds widens the search, and the rare nose uncovers what hides beneath the trees. Together they make the vulture supremely good at its calling. No corner of the land stays wholly unseen when sight, shared attention and scent are joined across the long hours of the day. It is a quiet task, this tending of the wild. With these tuned senses, the vulture moves through nature's cleaning, unhurried, asking little and giving much to the country that lies below. Let the image settle as you rest. High birds turning in the warm light, watching, sharing, reading the wind, each one a serene guardian of the sky, keeping its slow and useful watch. Here is another soft pause, a clearing in the long night. You need not hold any of the wonder we have wandered through. Let it loosen on its own and keep only the calm it leaves behind. The birds overhead keep their easy circles, faithful and unhurried, tracing the same slow arcs they have traced for ages. There is deep comfort in their steadiness. Let your breath fall into their slow rhythm, even and unforced. There is nowhere else to be tonight but here, beneath a wide and gentle sky. Across every continent where they soar, vultures perform one of nature's most generous tasks. They keep the land clean, tending the earth with a thoroughness no other animal can match. Theirs is a service offered freely day after day beneath the open sky. Picture a vast plain warmed by morning light, and high above it, dark wings turning in wide arcs. These birds are watching over the land, ready to tend whatever needs their care. Their work keeps the whole landscape healthy, balanced, and whole. When something in nature reaches its end, the vultures arrive to set things right. They return what remains to the great cycle of life, allowing the land to renew itself. Nothing is wasted, and everything is gathered back into the living world. In doing this, they stop sickness from spreading across the countryside. By clearing the land swiftly, they protect every creature that walks or grazes nearby. Countless animals and countless people stay healthier because the vultures have passed through. It is a role performed without fanfare, without notice, without thanks. Yet the health of whole regions rests upon these tireless caretakers. They are, in the truest sense, the cleaners of the world we share. Consider how much the vultures do and how little they ask of us. They seek no reward and expect no gratitude for the work they carry out. Their service is given freely, as naturally as the turning of the seasons. By day they ride the warm currents high above the earth. Watching with remarkable eyes, they descend only when there is land to tend, then lift away once more. Their visits are brief, purposeful, and always in service of the whole. Each time they come down, they leave the ground cleaner than before. The land is tidied, the air kept fresh, the balance of nature restored. Then the birds rise again, vanishing into the bright expanse overhead. Among all the creatures of the wild, few are so undervalued as these. We rarely thank them, rarely notice the care they take on our behalf. Still they continue asking nothing, giving everything their work requires. There is a deep dignity in such selfless labor, repeated through countless lifetimes. The vultures keep the world in order simply because that is their calling. In their tireless devotion lies a kind of quiet nobility. Within each vulture lies a remarkable secret, hidden deep inside the body. Their stomachs hold one of the most powerful acids found anywhere in the animal kingdom. It is far stronger than the acid that works within our own bodies. This extraordinary acid is the source of the vulture's protective power. It allows the bird to safely tend things that would harm almost any other creature. What would sicken others passes through the vulture without the slightest danger. Imagine a force so strong it can break down the most troubling of substances. That force lives silently inside every one of these noble birds. It is nature's own safeguard, carried within feathers and warm beating hearts. Because of this inner strength, the vulture can do what no gentle scavenger could. It clears the land completely, leaving nothing behind that might cause harm. The acid is the hidden engine of its great and healing work. So the bird that seems so calm against the sky carries true might within, a power beyond our own flows through its body with every passing hour. In that strength lies the secret of how the land stays clean. The vulture's powerful acid does something truly wonderful for the living world. It neutralizes the dangerous germs that would make almost any other creature ill. Inside the bird, these threats are rendered harmless, broken down and undone. Even sicknesses with hard names can be safely dissolved within a vulture. Diseases such as anthrax, cholera, and rabies go no further. Once the bird has done its quiet work, they simply come to rest inside it, gently undone, and spread no further across the calm and sleeping land. In this way, the vulture becomes a living endpoint for sickness itself. Whatever danger enters simply stops, halted within that remarkable body. The bird is a final chapter, closing the story before harm can travel onward. Think of it as a kind of full stop placed upon disease. Where sickness might have spread through a region, the vulture gently ends its journey. One bird, doing its natural work, protects untold lives downstream. It is a marvel of the living world, this gift of safe undoing. The vulture absorbs what others cannot, and the danger simply disappears. Through them, the land is kept not only clean but truly safe. Few creatures protect us as faithfully as the vultures do, unseen and unsung. By ending sickness within their bodies, they shield whole communities from harm. Their quiet vigilance is a barrier between us and the spread of disease. When the vultures tend the land, they do far more than tidy the ground. They intercept dangers that might otherwise travel through soil, water, and air. In clearing what has died, they close the doors through which sickness might pass. Each bird is a guardian, standing watch over the health of its homeland. The work they do keeps illness from reaching the creatures that remain. Herds, flocks, and families alike are safer for their tireless presence. We seldom imagine that a bird above us could be a protector. Yet that is precisely what the vulture is, hour upon hour, day upon day. They guard the living by gently ending what could bring them harm. To call them guardians is no exaggeration, but simple, grateful truth. They hold back the tide of sickness with nothing but their nature. In their wings and their work lies a shelter we rarely recognize. What the vultures accomplish, they accomplish with remarkable speed and completeness. No other scavenger works so swiftly or so thoroughly across the open land. They finish what they begin, leaving the earth fully tended behind them. Consider what happens in places where the vultures have grown few. The work then falls to slower, less able creatures who cannot match their care. The task lingers in the open far longer, and the land waits to be made whole. Without these birds, what they once cleared in hours might remain for days. Lesser scavengers do only a portion, and do it imperfectly at best. The difference the vultures make becomes plain only in their absence. This is why they are so deeply essential to the balance of nature. Nothing else can do their job as fully or as fast as they can. Their speed is a gift, returning the land to health without delay. Swift, sure, and complete, the vultures set a standard none can equal. They are the finest caretakers the wild has ever known. In their efficiency lies a generosity the whole world depends upon. By daylight, the vultures belong to the highest reaches of the sky. They ride the rising warmth in great unhurried circles, scanning the land below from such heights. They keep watch over everything within their care. There is a serenity in the way they hold the air without effort. Wings spread wide, they glide for hours, untroubled and unhurried aloft. The sky is their resting place, the open blue their daily home. Only when the land needs tending do they leave that lofty calm. Down they come briefly to do the work that keeps the world clean. Then once more they climb, returning to the bright stillness above. To watch them rise is to witness something graceful and endlessly serene in spirit. Higher and higher they wheel until they are mere specks against the light. The earth below is left cleaner for their visit. All day they remain there, faithful sentinels suspended between heaven and ground. They ask for no perch of honor, only the freedom of the air, and in that freedom they serve the living world below. Of all the creatures that share our world, few give so much for so little. The vultures tend the earth selflessly, expecting nothing in return. They are among nature's most undervalued and devoted caretakers. They descend only to tidy the land, then lift away on widespread wings. With each visit they leave the world cleaner and safer than before. Their whole existence is shaped around the well-being of others. Let us hold them gently in our thoughts as the night settles around us. These noble birds keep our world healthy while asking for no thanks. In their service lies a kindness woven through the living earth. Picture them now, high and serene, circling beneath a fading evening sky. Guardians of the land, keepers of its health, protectors of us all. Let their steady devotion be a comfort as you grow drowsy. So as sleep draws near, remember the quiet caretakers far above. They watch over the world with tireless, selfless grace, season upon season. May the thought of their gentle guardianship carry you softly into rest. Pause once more and let the great calm cradle you. The vultures soar without effort, and so tonight may you rest without effort. Let the air hold you loosely now, with nothing to grasp and nowhere to go. No striving is needed to belong here. You are carried the way the birds are carried, gently and without strain, part of the same slow and easy motion of the sky. So let yourself settle, soft and unhurried, into the wide calm of the night. The next part of our journey can wait until your breathing has grown slow and deep. For longer than anyone could remember, the vultures of South Asia were everywhere overhead. They were among the most common large birds on the whole continent, riding the warm air in great wheeling numbers. Across field and city, river and ridge, they tended the land wherever they went. Picture a sky that always held them, day after unbroken day. A farmer glancing up would expect to see them, the way one expects clouds or the returning sun. Their presence was simply part of the world, woven so deeply into ordinary life that almost no one thought to notice it. These birds asked for very little from the people below. They claimed no crops and troubled no herds, keeping to the high air and the open ground. In return, without fuss or reward, they steadily carried away what the land could not, and they kept the countryside clean. Generations had grown up beneath this faithful canopy of wings. Grandparents and grandchildren alike had watched the same slow circles trace the afternoon. It felt like a thing that could never change, a constancy as dependable as the seasons turning over the wide and dusty plains. Then, as the 1990s opened, something began to shift in that familiar sky. The wheeling shapes grew fewer, week by week, season by season. At first the change was too gradual to name, yet the great numbers were thinning, and the birds were starting to disappear. The reason was small and entirely unexpected, hidden inside an act of ordinary kindness. It was a common medicine, a painkiller called diclofenac, given to ease the aches of farm cattle. To the cattle it was helpful and harmless, a simple comfort in their working lives. No one watching could have guessed where the trouble lay. The medicine did its gentle work among the herds, easing stiffness and letting tired animals rest. It was used widely and in good faith, a remedy meant only to soothe, never imagined to reach beyond the field. But a thread connected the cattle to the birds above. When an animal that had been treated later passed away, its remains still held a trace of that medicine, and the vultures doing the work they had always done would come down to tend what was left. For a vulture, even that faint trace was more than its gentle body could carry. The very thing that had eased the cattle was, to the bird, too much to bear. There was no sign in it, no warning, only a slow and quiet fading that gradually thinned the once great flocks. And so a kindness in one place became a sorrow in another, through a link no one had drawn. The land had grown a delicate web, finer than anyone realized. A single remedy offered with care had reached upward and touched the great birds of the sky. The change that followed was greater than almost anyone expected. Within little more than a single decade, all but a few of every 100 of these vultures had slowly slipped away. Where great spiraling crowds had once filled the warm afternoons, only a scattered handful remained to trace the old familiar paths. Such a number is hard to hold in the mind, so let it settle slowly. Where 100 birds had once turned in the light, fewer than 5 remained to trace the old paths. The great spiraling crowds had become a scattering, then almost nothing. It happened without any sound to mark its passing. No storm announced it. No single day stood out as the moment of loss. The birds faded the way dusk gathers, so evenly that each evening looked much like the last, until one realized how dark it had become. Skies that had always held them grew strangely empty and wide. The afternoon air, once busy with circling wings, stretched open and unbroken overhead. People who looked up from their work found a blankness where motion used to be, a vast and unfamiliar stillness above the plains. Many did not yet understand what was unfolding around them. The change was so woven into the ordinary sky that it slipped by unremarked for a time. Only gradually did a question begin to form in people's minds, where they wondered, had all the vultures gone? With the great cleaners gone, the land could no longer be tended as it always had been. For ages the vultures had carried away what nature set down, swiftly and completely. Now that work went unfinished, and a quiet gap opened in the rhythm of the countryside. Nature rarely leaves such a space unfilled for long. Where the birds had once arrived in numbers and finished their task within hours, the ground now waited far longer. The careful balance that had held for generations began slowly to come undone across the wide plains. Into that opening came other scavengers drawn by what remained. Feral dogs above all began to multiply, gathering where the vultures no longer did. Their numbers swelled across town and field, taking up a role they were never so well suited to fill. And as the dogs grew more numerous, gentle ripples reached beyond the animals themselves, touching the well-being of the people nearby. So a small change in the high distant sky settled, little by little, into the everyday lives below. The thinning of faraway wings had gradually become a very human matter after all. In this way, the loss of one modest bird became a burden for whole communities. What had seemed a matter only for the air revealed itself as deeply human. The thinning of distant wings had touched the health and safety of entire regions of people. Slowly, a deeper understanding began to take shape. The vultures, so easy to overlook, had been holding far more in place than anyone had guessed. Their daily work had been a kind of unseen service, calmly steadying the world for everything that lived beneath them. It is often the way that we measure a thing best, by its absence. While the birds filled the sky, their gift went almost entirely unremarked. Only when the high circles emptied did the true weight of their presence become clear to the people they had served. They had never sought thanks for what they did. No ceremony marked their labor, no one set aside a day in their name, yet every untroubled field and clean roadside had carried the mark of their work, freely given across countless ordinary mornings and evenings. This is the tender lesson the empty sky offered in return. These humble birds, plain and unsung, hold the world together more than we had ever known. The smallest and least noticed thread, it turned out, was helping to bind the whole cloth fast. Such a realization carries its own kind of grace, even within the sorrow, to see at last how much depended on so quiet a creature is to see the living world anew. Every wing overhead, one understands now, is doing more than it seems. Understanding the cause was the turning the whole story had needed. For years the loss had felt like a mystery without a shape, a fading no one could explain. Then careful watching and close study traced the thread at last back to that single medicine. Knowing the reason changed everything that came after. A loss one cannot name can only be mourned, but a cause once understood can be answered. With the source revealed, the long fading was no longer a riddle. It had become instead a problem people could meet. And so that veterinary medicine was banned across the region. The remedy that had reached so far upward into the sky was set aside, kept away from the herds whose remains the birds might tend. It was a clear step taken once the truth was finally plain. This decision asked something of many people at once. Farmers and healers and lawmakers alike had to trust what the study had shown and change a long-settled habit. That they did so for the sake of a bird speaks softly of care reaching across great distance. With the cause removed, the deepest harm could at last begin to ease. The downward slide that had run for years was given, finally, a place to stop. It was not a cure, not yet, but it was the firm ground on which all later hope would stand. Beyond the ban, gentle and careful efforts to help the birds began. People set out to protect the vultures that remained and to raise new young in safe and watchful keeping. It was tender work, undertaken with great care by those who had come to love these creatures. Recovery, though, moves at its own unhurried pace. Vultures raise only a few young across the long span of their lives, so their numbers cannot leap back quickly. Each new bird is a small triumph earned over seasons, and the rebuilding asks for steadiness and time. Yet season upon season, faint signs of return have started to show. Here and there a few more shapes appear against the evening light, tracing again the old familiar arcs. The skies that had emptied are beginning gently to fill once more with circling wings. Imagine standing beneath that slowly mending sky tonight. A single vulture turns far overhead, then another joins it on the rising air, unhurried and at ease. It is a small sight and a hopeful one, a thread being rewoven into the wide blue cloth. The story does not end in loss, then, but in careful growing hope. What was nearly gone is finding its way back, helped along by hands that learned it in time, and the lesson stays with us, tender and clear. Even the humblest wing helps hold the world. So let this story settle over you as the night deepens. Picture again that wide South Asian sky, the warm air rising, the slow shapes returning one by one to the heights. Hold the calm thought of a world gently mending, knitting itself whole. Think of how much rests on the wings we so rarely watch. The vultures asked for nothing and gave a service beyond measure, tending the land while we looked elsewhere. Their long fading taught us tenderly to see the value in the plainest and most modest of lives. Carry with you, too, the gentler half of the tale. A cause was found, a harm was set aside, and careful hands began to mend what had been broken. It is proof, soft and reassuring, that understanding can heal and that loss need not be the final word. Let your breathing ease and lengthen as the image holds. High above the warm plains, the great birds wheel again in widening rings, unhurried in the fading light. The sky is filling, the balance is returning, and all of it turns on so faithful and humble a wing. Rest now in the calm of a sky made whole once more. The guardians are coming home to the heights where they belong, and the land below breathes easier for their return. Let that quiet, hopeful picture stay with you and carry you softly down into sleep. Rest again beneath this calm sky. The hour is late and the air is warm and kind, and there is nothing left undone that the morning cannot keep. Let the stillness widen around you. Above you, the great wings move without strain, slow and sure, needing no help and no watching. You may set down every task and simply be here, breathing at ease. Feel the gentle weight of your own resting body, and let it anchor you while your mind floats free among the soaring birds. high above 3 continents and across the Americas. Two kinds of vulture ride the same warm air. They look like cousins, yet they are not close kin. Nature, it turns out, drew this peaceful shape twice on opposite sides of a single turning world. The vultures of Africa, Asia, and Europe are called the Old World kind. They belong, surprisingly, to the family of eagles and hawks, sharing that ancient and noble line. Their broad wings trace the same lineage that carries the soaring raptors of the open country. Far away over the forests and peaks of the Americas, the New World vultures glide. These birds, including the great condors, come from an entirely separate branch of life. No near bond links them to their lookalikes across the wide and sleeping oceans. So we meet two families beneath one sky, alike in habit yet distant in blood. Each arose alone, unaware of the other, shaped by the same need to wander on the wind. It is one of evolution's most graceful coincidences written across the whole world. Tonight we follow both branches at an easy pace, tracing how they came to be. We will meet griffins on their cliffs and condors on their currents. Let the strangeness of it settle over you, warm and unhurried as the evening deepens around you. When two unrelated creatures arrive at the same form, biologists call it convergent evolution. It means nature found one answer twice, by separate roads. The vultures are a beautiful example, two distant lineages sculpted into nearly the same elegant outline for the same airy life. Think of how a way of living can shape a body. The wandering, high-soaring habit asks for broad wings, keen eyes, and an easy, tireless glide. Given that same demand, the Old World and New World birds answered alike, each in its own home. It is rather like two distant rivers carving similar valleys, guided by the same gentle slope of the land. Neither copied the other, both simply followed where the way of life led them. The result is a likeness that runs deep, yet hides separate roots. Look at the wide wings, the unhurried circling, the effortless ease that needs no flapping for hours. These traits appear on both sides of the world, matched almost feature for feature. The same peaceful shape rules the sky above two continents that never met. This twinning of form is one of nature's quiet wonders, a riddle solved twice over. It reminds us that life, given room and time, returns again and again to what works. Let that thought drift through you now, calm and slow and reassuring. Among the strangest gifts of the New World vultures is their near silence. Unlike nearly all other birds, they lack a true syrinx, the voice box that lets birds call and sing. And so these large birds cannot cry out or sing the way other creatures do at dawn. In place of song, they offer only the faintest sounds. A low hiss, a soft grunt, a breathy murmur is nearly all they say. These are among the most silent of all large birds, content to speak little and to glide a great deal. Imagine a creature so vast yet so hushed, crossing the sky without a word. There is a deep restfulness in that, a stillness that suits the wide and open air. The condor passes overhead in silence, leaving only the memory of its shadow. Their quietness is not emptiness, but a different way of being. They listen, they watch, they ride the rising warmth with calm attention. Words for them are scarcely needed. The sky asks only that they fly, and fly they surely do. So when you picture these birds tonight, picture a peaceful hush. No cries, no chatter, only the whisper of wind across long feathers. Let their silence become your own, a soothing emptiness where rest can gather and the busy mind can finally settle. Now we turn to the old world kinds and their many forms. Among them are the great griffin vultures, large pale birds of the open uplands. They gather along high cliffs in loose companies, lining the stone ledges like sentries of the morning air. From their lofty perches, the griffins watch the land unfold below. When the sun warms the slopes, rising air lifts them gently from the rock. One by one they leave the cliff, climbing in wide, unhurried spirals into the bright and waking sky. These birds favor company over solitude, roosting and soaring in easy groups. A cliff face may hold many together, a community of broad wings folded against the wind. There is comfort in their gathering, a shared and steady rhythm to their days. Watch a griffin circle, and you witness mastery of stillness in motion. It barely beats a wing, riding instead on the warm breath of the hills. For hours it can hang aloft, a calm shape sketched against the slow-moving clouds. As evening comes, the griffins return to their familiar ledges. They settle along the cliff once more, wings closing as the light grows thin. The high stone holds them through the night, safe above a world that is drifting toward sleep. Higher still lives one of the most remarkable old world birds, the lammergeier. It is also called the bearded vulture, named for the dark feathers below its beak. This great mountain dweller haunts the highest ridges, where the air thins and the peaks gleam. The lammergeier is a bird of immense wings and unhurried flight. It sweeps along ridgelines and over deep valleys, tracing the bones of the mountains. Few creatures live so high, and fewer move through that thin air with such peaceful grace. Its form is long and elegant, built for the great spaces between summits. Sunlight catches the warm, rusty tones of its breast as it banks above the snow. To see one is to glimpse the wild heart of the highest country. This bird belongs to the same family as the griffins, yet wears a different shape. From the gathered cliff dwellers to the lone mountain wanderer, the old world forms range widely, small to immense. The variety among them is wonderful and deep to behold. Picture the lammergeier now, a slow silhouette above a sea of peaks. The mountains stand silent and pale, and the bird drifts on without effort or haste. Let that vast, untroubled scene hold you as the night settles fully in. Across the ocean in the New World live the largest of all these birds. The condors of the Americas soar on wings that stretch wider than nearly any other bird. When a condor opens those wings, it seems to span a whole piece of sky. There are two great condors, one of the high Andes and one of California. Both ride the strong mountain winds on enormous, steady wings. They climb without effort on the rising air, becoming small dark crosses against the pale and distant heights. A condor in flight is a study in calm power and restraint. It may glide for long stretches without a single beat of its wings. The wind does the work. The bird only tilts and leans, master of the effortless, peaceful art of soaring. These giants belong to the New World line, kin to the silent gliders we met before like them. The condor speaks little, offering only low and breathy sounds. Its true language is movement, written slowly across the wide and open air. Hold the image of a condor riding the high currents, vast and unhurried. Below it, the mountains roll away, ridge after ridge, into the softening light. The great wings hold steady, and the whole sky seems to slow around them. Between the modest and the immense lies a wide and wonderful range. Some vultures are fairly small, light enough to ride the faintest stirrings of air. Others are great soaring giants, and yet all share the same essential and peaceful shape. This spread of sizes appears in both families, Old World and New. Each line holds its lesser and its larger kinds, from compact wanderers to broad-winged titans. The same idea, repeated at many scales, fills the open sky with graceful variety. Consider the smaller birds first, nimble and quick to rise. They need little lift to climb, turning tight circles on warm and rising air. Their lightness lets them dance where the heavier giants would need a stronger, steadier wind. Then picture the great ones again, the griffins, the lammergeier, the towering condors. They ask for broad currents and long, sweeping arcs across the heights. From featherweight to giant, the family of soarers spans an astonishing breadth of form. It is a gentle marvel, this range from the small to the huge. One way of living stretched across many bodies and two unrelated lines. Let the scale of it wash over you, vast and varied, as your thoughts grow soft and slow. So we come to the close of this branching tale of the vultures. Two families, born apart, came to share the same airy way of being, from the small to the giant. Across two unrelated lines, the same peaceful shape rules the open sky. Remember the old world birds kin to the eagles, gathered on their cliffs. Remember the new world gliders, silent and vast, riding the mountain winds. Each found its own road to the same elegant life among the rising warmth and the clouds. Remember, too, the wonder of convergent evolution, that twice-told story of form nature shaped this wandering shape on opposite edges of the world with no shared plan, and the result is a likeness so deep it once fooled even careful eyes. Above all, hold the feeling of these birds, calm and unhurried in flight. They speak little and soar much, content to ride the air for hours. Their stillness and motion is a kind of peace we can carry with us into sleep. Now let the whole wide sky grow dim, and the soarers settle to rest. The cliffs and the peaks fall silent, and the great wings fold away. Breathe slowly, let your thoughts come to rest, and drift now toward a deep and easy sleep. One last pause before the journey's final stretch. Let everything grow soft and slow. The vultures have ridden the wind for countless ages. The warm air can surely carry you a little while longer. There is nothing but calm in all that open sky. It is only the wide air, the slow circling wings, the gentle light of evening, moving onward without haste and carrying you along. Let the quiet carry you onward, closer to sleep with every slow breath. Whatever remains of the night will unfold gently and ask nothing of you but to rest. Vultures are wonderfully social birds, though their sociability wears a quiet face. Each one soars alone across the wide morning, a single dark mark upon the blue, yet wherever the land offers a meal, they begin to gather, drawn together from miles of empty air. Watch how they assemble, not in haste, but in unhurried spirals, one bird noticing another and easing down to join. The sky fills slowly with their wheeling shapes. What looked like solitude becomes a gentle congregation, a meeting arranged by the wind itself. There is an order among them when they meet, a courtesy older than memory. The larger or bolder birds take their turn first, and the others wait their moment without complaint. It is settled by posture alone, a tilt of the body, a measured step aside. This calm waiting is the heart of their manners. No quarrel troubles the gathering, no scramble breaks the peace. Each vulture seems to understand its place in the sequence, content to stand by until its time arrives, sharing the day's provision in turn. So they pass the daylight hours together, a loose and easy company beneath the sun. They are neither crowd nor flock in the restless sense, but a fellowship of wanderers who happen to meet, then lift away again into their separate soaring skies. Among these wanderers, something tender takes root. Many vultures form lasting pair bonds, choosing a single mate and keeping that companion through the turning years. Theirs is a steady devotion, unhurried and sure, a partnership measured not in seasons but in long decades of shared sky. Picture two birds aloft together, riding the same warm column of rising air. They circle in easy unison, wingtip echoing wingtip, as though the sky were a shared and well-known room. Years of flying side by side have taught them each the other's smallest turn. Their bond asks for little ceremony, yet it runs deep. A pair will return to one another after every wandering day, settling close upon the same familiar ledge. This faithfulness lends their lives a lovely constancy, a thread of belonging strung across the open wilderness. Such loyalty is rare and precious in the wide animal world. To choose one companion and hold to that choice for 20 years or more speaks of a deep, abiding trust. The pair becomes a single, quiet unit, weathering wind and time as one. And so each evening finds them reunited, two shapes folding their wings against the dusk. Whatever the day has scattered, the night gathers them back together. In this gentle return lies the deepest comfort of their kind, the knowing that one is never truly alone. Together, a faithful pair tends a single nest, and they choose its place with great care. High on a sheer cliff ledge they settle, or else within the crown of some immense old tree, lifted far above the reach of the ordinary restless world. Imagine that lofty home, cupped against bare stone or cradled among the highest branches. From such a height the whole country unrolls below, soft and hazy with distance. The wind passes through, the clouds sail near, and the nest holds its place serenely. The pair builds with sticks and softer linings, working without hurry across many days. Each adds to the structure, shaping a sturdy cradle that will hold what matters most. It is plain and unadorned, yet it is theirs, made by four wings together. Such height is no accident, but a careful gift of safety. Set so far above the ground, the nest stays beyond the reach of those who might disturb it. Here the pair may rest secure, watching the slow shadows lengthen across the land beneath. Night after night, they will know this ledge is home. The same view greets them at every dawn. The same stone holds the day's last warmth at dusk. In all the vast and changing sky, this single quiet place is the anchor of their lives. When the season turns toward family, a vulture pair asks for very little. They usually raise just one chick at a time, a single life given the whole of their devotion. Within the high nest, a lone egg waits, pale and rounded, holding the future close. The parents take turns warming it, one settling gently over the egg, while the other keeps watch or wanders the sky for food. Neither bird is ever far. The egg is never left unguarded, cradled always beneath a warm and steady breast. Days pass in this tender rotation, a rhythm of changing places upon the nest. The watching bird shifts aside, the other eases down, and the precious warmth is never broken. So the long incubation unfolds, unhurried as the seasons that hold it. Because they raise so few young, each pairing carries great weight. A single chick is no small thing, but the whole of a season's hope. The sole inheritor of all this care. Every vulture matters greatly to its kind, and this one most of all. And so the egg is kept hour upon hour, watched over with a devotion that does not tire. Beneath the wide and wheeling sky, two parents bend their lives around one small rounded shell, awaiting the faint first tapping from within. At last the chick arrives, a small downy presence in the great high nest. From this moment the parents begin their longest work, raising their young ones slowly, with a care that stretches across many unhurried months of feeding, warming, and faithful guarding. Both mother and father share the labor equally, and this sharing is the marvel of it. One bird broods the chick close while the other rides the thermals in search of nourishment. Then they trade, turn for turn, neither carrying the burden alone. The young one grows by gentle degrees, never rushed toward the sky. Day by day it gathers strength beneath the watchful eyes of two devoted parents. They feed it tenderly, shield it from sun and wind, and let it ripen at its own slow pace. This deliberate slowness shapes the whole of vulture life. They cannot raise many, and so they raise their one with everything they have. The long childhood is a labor of love, a calm and steady giving that asks for nothing in return. So the nest cradles its single treasure through the lengthening weeks. The chick rests warm between its parents' comings and goings, safe upon the cliff, fed and guarded and quietly adored in such tender keeping, a new wanderer of the sky is made. These birds we have followed are made for long living. Many vultures pass 20 or 30 years upon the wind, riding season into season with the same unhurried grace. A single bird may know the same cliffs, the same skies across the better part of a human lifetime. Think of all that such a span contains, the thousands of mornings lifted on warm air. Each year the bird returns to familiar ledges, greets the same horizons, circles the same wide valleys it has always known. Time settles upon it lightly, like dust upon stone. This long life is the quiet companion of their slow ways. Because they raise so few young across the decades, their length of days carries real importance. Every faithful year a gift to the future of their kind. They are built to endure. There is a deep serenity in such longevity, a sense of lives unhurried by haste. The vulture is in no rush, for it has years enough to spend. It moves through the world with the calm of a creature that knows its own long season. And so they age gracefully upon the heights, these enduring riders of the sky. Year after year, the same wings carry them aloft, the same trusted roosts receive them home. In their long, slow lives there is a steadiness that soothes the watching heart. When morning first touches the roost, the vultures greet it in a lovely way. They perch with their great wings spread wide toward the rising sun, holding still in that open posture, drinking the early light before the day has truly begun. There is a reason for this beautiful stance. Through the night a fine dew settles upon their feathers, and the dawn sun gently dries it away. So they wait with wings outstretched, warming themselves, letting the new warmth ease the cool dampness from their plumes. Picture a row of them along a ledge, dark wings opened like so many cloaks held to the fire. They face the brightening east in calm communion, scarcely moving, each bird a small sail filling slowly with the kindness of the morning light. This sunning hour is unhurried and serene, a ritual older than counting. No rush hastens them from the perch. They simply bask, gathering heat into their bodies, preparing without effort for the long, soaring hours that the climbing day will bring. It is among the tenderest sights in all of nature, this quiet welcoming of the sun. The cliffs glow amber, the dew lifts away as mist, and the great calm birds stand warming, wings wide in the first soft gold of the waking world. As the warmth deepens, the first thermals begin to stir, rising invisibly from the heating earth. One by one, the sunning birds feel that lift beneath their wings. They lean into it, fold from their perches, and rise once more into the high and open blue. All day they ride those gentle currents, and all day the company keeps its loose, untroubled order. But the sky is calm, and evening always comes, drawing the wanderers down again toward the trusted cliffs that hold their roosting place. They return as they have returned for years uncounted, to the same familiar ledges night after night. The pairs settle close, the young rest near, and the whole roost gathers into one dark and peaceful company beneath the cooling sky. Now the wings that carried them so far are folded soft against the dusk. The wind grows still along the stone. The great birds settle deeper, heads tucking low, their long day surrendered gently to the coming hush of night. And there we leave them, these serene guardians of the sky, at rest upon their ancient cliffs beneath the early stars. The valley darkens, the air grows cool and calm, and the vultures sleep, safe and faithful and still. Let us grow still as well. A thermal is a column of warm air that lifts because the sun heats the ground unevenly. Dark fields, bare rock, and sunlit slopes warm fastest, sending up tall, invisible towers of rising air across the waking land. These currents stay unseen, yet they shape the whole sky above a vulture. Picture warmth gathering over a quiet meadow, swelling upward in slow, gentle spirals, an unhurried fountain that no eye can trace, but every soaring wing can somehow feel. Birds learn to read the sky for small clues to where these columns hide, a drifting wisp of cloud, a circling companion far away, the shape of the land below. Each one whispers that lifting air is waiting somewhere ahead. Having found a column, the vulture circles within it to gain height for nothing at all. Round and round it turns, climbing without a single beat of its wings, carried higher by the warmth as gently as smoke rising from a hearth. They are the invisible rivers of the air, and the vulture rides them like a leaf on a quiet current. Imagine being lifted that softly, asking nothing of your own strength, simply trusting the warm and welcoming sky to carry you. High among the great mountain peaks lives the bearded vulture, also called the lammergeier. It is unique in all the world, for it lives mostly on bone, the one quiet part that other animals leave behind when they have finished and moved on. This is a tidy and thoughtful way to live, taking only what no one else will use. Where another creature might find nothing of worth, the bearded vulture finds a calm and steady meal, and so it keeps the high places clean and clear. To reach the goodness within, it carries a bone high into the air. Then it lets the bone fall onto the smooth rocks far below, where it parts neatly open, and the rich marrow inside is revealed like a secret kept safe within stone. Its stomach is remarkable, acidic enough to dissolve bone slowly and gently over time. What seems too hard for any animal becomes nourishment here, a marvel of nature working its unhurried way deep inside this great and graceful bird of the heights. It often bathes in iron-rich mountain dust, which stains its pale feathers a warm, rusty orange. This touch of color is one it chooses for itself, a gentle vanity among the peaks, like a quiet soul dressing in the soft hues of sunset. The condors of the Americas are among the largest flying birds on all of Earth. Their wings can stretch more than 3 meters from tip to tip, so wide that when one passes overhead it seems a small and silent cloud has come to visit. The Andean condor soars along the great mountain spine of South America. It rides the steady winds that pour off the high peaks, hanging in the cold blue air with its enormous wings held still, surveying a vast and ancient world below. Far to the north lives the California condor, a bird with its own tender story. Not so long ago it came perilously close to vanishing from the world, with only a couple dozen of these great souls left beneath the wide open sky. Then careful, loving hands reached out to help it through the years. Through gentle protection and slow, devoted breeding, the California condor was guided back, one precious bird after another, returning at last to the free and open skies it had nearly lost. Now picture those huge wings once more catching the light above the canyons. A creature that almost slipped away forever turns slowly overhead, alive and at peace, a quiet reminder of how much can be saved by kindness and unhurried, faithful care. Birds carry within them a breathing system far more efficient than our own. It lets them thrive where the air grows thin and cold miles above the ground in a hushed and lofty world that would leave us dizzy and longing for rest. Our lungs simply empty and refill, taking a small pause with every breath. A bird does something cleverer, passing air one way through its lungs with the help of a set of delicate air sacs that store and move each breath along. Because of this, fresh air flows across a bird's lungs almost without ceasing. The stale and the new never mix and muddle as ours do, so a smooth and steady river of air glides through, calm and unbroken, with each gentle cycle. This graceful design lets a bird pull more oxygen from every single breath than we ever could. Each lungful gives far more than ours, a quiet abundance carried in feathers, a hidden gift that makes the impossible heights feel like an easy home. And so a vulture can soar where the air is thin and freezing far above the clouds, up where we would struggle even to stay awake. It circles on calmly and contentedly, breathing with ease in a place that asks so much of others. Vultures are gentle creatures, and so often they are unfairly feared. For all their great size and quiet watchfulness, there is nothing in them to dread, only a soft and careful nature that the world has been slow to notice and to understand. They do not hunt, and they do not trouble healthy animals going about their day. A vulture arrives only afterward to clean and to tend, a gentle caretaker of the wild, asking for no harm and bringing none to any living thing below. A vulture circling high overhead is simply climbing a thermal to gain its height. It waits for nothing sad beneath it. It is only riding the warm and rising air, turning in slow and easy loops for the sheer ease of the lift. These are shy, clean, and careful birds, far gentler than their old reputation suggests. They keep themselves neat and tidy, and they move through the world with a quiet, considered grace, wishing only to go about their peaceful work undisturbed. Vultures are devoted parents and faithful mates, tending their young with great tenderness. They deserve our affection far more than our unease, and perhaps tonight we can offer them a little warmth, these kind and misjudged guardians of the open sky. As evening comes, the warm thermals fade and grow still across the cooling land. With their gentle lift now resting, the vultures glide down toward their roosts to settle for the night, just as you are settling and resting now here in this moment. Picture one last bird turning slowly in the soft golden light of dusk. Unhurried and entirely at peace, it traces a wide and easy circle through the amber air, in no hurry to land, simply savoring the final mellow warmth of the day. See how its great wings hold steady, hardly moving against the fading sky. There is no effort left in it now, only a calm and gentle descent, a slow spiral homeward as the first soft stars begin to open far overhead. Let that slow circle be the last thing you hold gently in your mind. Round and softly round it goes, lower and lower, carrying your thoughts down with it, smoothing them out, easing you nearer and nearer to the edge of sleep. Now the bird settles its wings and grows wonderfully still upon its resting place. The sky is quiet, the night is kind, and all is well. Let go of the day, breathe slow and easy, and sink softly down into peaceful, untroubled sleep. The Egyptian vulture is a small, elegant bird dressed in soft white with a gentle yellow face. It lives across parts of Africa, Asia, and southern Europe, ranging over open country with an easy, unhurried air. Among all the birds of the world, it belongs to a rare and gifted few. What makes this slender vulture so remarkable is a single clever habit. It is one of the few birds known to use a tool, and it does so with quiet confidence. Watching it work, you sense a thoughtful little mind turning over a simple problem in the warm, open light. When the bird finds a large, thick egg, perhaps the egg of an ostrich, it does not give up. Instead, it takes up a stone in its beak, leans back, and throws the stone against the shell. With a few careful tries, the hard surface finally opens, and the food within is reached. This resourceful trick is passed along and practiced, and the bird seems to know exactly what it is doing. Each toss is aimed and deliberate, a small lesson in cleverness performed beneath an enormous sky. Few sights in nature feel quite so gently surprising as this slim white bird at its work. Many Egyptian vultures are great wanderers as well as thinkers. Each year they migrate long distances, traveling between Europe and Africa as the seasons turn and the warm winds shift. So this small bright bird is both a clever mind and a tireless traveler at home across half the world. Deep in the rainforests of Central and South America lives one of the most beautiful birds you could ever hope to picture. The king vulture wears a creamy pale body and dark wings, and it moves through the green world with a calm, unhurried grace. It is unlike any of its plainer cousins. The true wonder of this bird is its head, which seems painted by a gentle hand. Soft shades of orange, warm yellow, and pale purple swirl together in delicate patterns. Against the deep greens of the forest, this colorful crown glows like a quiet jewel held up to the dappled light. For all its beauty, the king vulture has a humble little secret about finding food. It often cannot easily search beneath the thick forest canopy, so it watches and waits for help. The keen-nosed turkey vultures, with their fine sense of smell, lead the way to what the forest has offered. Once those smaller birds have gathered, the king vulture arrives to take its turn, settling among them with calm authority. The other vultures give it room, and it joins nature's gentle cleaning of the forest floor. It is a quiet partnership, each bird playing its own part beneath the trees. Of all the vultures across the wide world, few are as striking or unusual as this one. Its painted face and creamy feathers make it feel almost like a creature from a soft dream. To imagine it perched in the green canopy is to picture beauty resting easily in the wild. Vultures are among the great travelers of the entire bird world, and they wear that title lightly. With their wide, effortless soaring, many of them cover enormous distances, ranging across vast territories each and every day. They move through the sky the way a leaf moves on a slow, wide river. The secret to their wandering is the rising air itself, the warm columns called thermals. A vulture finds one of these gentle updrafts and lets it lift the bird higher and higher, turning in slow, easy circles. Then it glides onward to the next, sliding across the sky almost without effort. Some species go much farther than a single day's roaming. When the seasons change, they migrate thousands of kilometers, crossing wide deserts and high mountains on their long way. Whole landscapes pass beneath their wings as they follow ancient routes written into them long before memory. What feels most wonderful is how little this all seems to cost the bird. Gliding from thermal to thermal, it lets the rising air do the heavy work, so it spends very little energy even on the longest of journeys. The wind carries it onward freely, hour after gentle hour. Picture such a bird far overhead, riding an invisible river of warm air across a continent. It travels almost for free, neither hurrying nor straining, simply trusting the sky to bear it along. To follow that easy passage with your eyes is to feel the whole world grow wide and slow. Every soaring journey depends upon one simple thing, and that is the sun. The thermals that lift the vultures so high are made of warmed, rising air, and they cannot form until the day begins to grow warm, so the bird's whole way of flying is woven into the rhythm of the morning. On a cool morning, before the ground has gathered any heat, the air holds no rising columns. The sky is still and even, with nothing yet to carry a heavy bird aloft, and so the vultures cannot soar, not because they are tired, but because the gentle machinery of the air has not yet begun. During this calm hour, they rest at their roosts, perched upon cliffs or steady branches, Often they open their broad wings to the early light, drinking in the first faint warmth as the sky slowly brightens. They seem in no hurry, content simply to be still and let the morning arrive. Bit by bit, the sun climbs and warms the waiting land below. The ground gives its heat back to the air, and the first soft thermals begin to rise and gather strength. Only when these warm columns are ready do the vultures finally lift away one after another into the opening sky. It is an unhurried, calm beginning to every single day. The birds do not fight the morning or rush it along. They simply wait for the world to be ready, and then they go. To picture that gentle start is to remember that some good things come only in their own slow time. A vulture's feathers are quietly remarkable, far more than a simple covering for the bird. The broad wing feathers spread wide to catch the air and carry the bird on its long, soaring flights. A soft ruff often circles the base of the neck like a gentle collar worn against the open sky. Keeping all these feathers in good order is the work of many a calm hour. The vulture preends with great care, drawing each feather through its beak to smooth and tidy it. This unhurried grooming is part of every day, a quiet ritual that keeps the plumage neat and ready for flight. The sun lends its help to this gentle housekeeping as well. A vulture will bask in the warm light, spreading its wings wide so the heat can reach every part. In this way, the warmth dries the morning dew and helps keep the plumage clean and wonderfully healthy. When feathers grow worn from long use, they are not all shed at once. Instead, the bird replaces them slowly, only a few at a time, in a careful and unhurried way, so the wings stay whole and strong through the change, never thin so much that flight becomes difficult. Because of this gentle, gradual renewal, the vulture is never left unable to fly. Always there are enough good feathers to bear it up into the air whenever it wishes. It is a quiet kind of wisdom written into the bird itself, letting the long journeys carry on without pause. As our long evening together draws toward its close, picture one last quiet scene above you. There is real joy, simple and pure, in merely looking up and watching a vulture soar. To follow that slow circle across the sky is to feel your own busy thoughts begin to widen and ease. These calm birds ask almost nothing of us as they ride the high air. They wish only for a little understanding, a small kindness in the way we think of them. In return, they offer a daily wonder, freely given to anyone willing to lift their eyes toward the open blue. So much of their gift costs us nothing more than a moment of our attention. We need only pause, tilt our heads, and let the gaze rest upon that effortless turning flight. In that small act, the worries of the day seem to loosen and float gently away on the breeze. Let the image settle over you now, soft and unhurried like a warm blanket of evening light. A single bird circling high and slow, going nowhere in particular, perfectly at ease. Breathe with that easy rhythm and feel how the calm of the wide sky becomes your own. And so we let the day go, gentle and complete, with that serene guardian still drifting overhead. Carry the slow turn of those wings into your dreams, where the sky is always wide and kind. Rest now, and let that quiet image stay with you as you settle softly toward sleep. For thousands of years, people have looked up and honored the vulture. Long before our time, watchful eyes followed these wings across the warm sky. They saw something worthy there, something to revere. Tonight we join that long, grateful gaze. In ancient Egypt, the vulture was beloved. A goddess named Nekhbet wore her form, and she was a protector, a guardian over the land. To the people of that age, the bird carried a tender meaning woven into their oldest stories of safekeeping. Nekhbet was a symbol of care and of motherhood itself. The vulture, spreading her wings, became an emblem of shelter, of one who watches over what she loves. How fitting that a bird so devoted to her young should mean such things. Across many lands and many ages, the vulture has stood for renewal. People saw in her a force of purification, a cleansing presence that made the world fresh again. She was not feared in these old hearts. She was thanked and remembered kindly. So the reverence runs deep, older than nations, older than written words. Wherever the vulture flew, some watcher below understood her gift. As you rest now, let that ancient gratitude settle over you, warm as evening light upon the hills. Why did so many cultures see renewal in this bird? Because the vulture returns what has ended to the living world, and from endings she makes beginnings. She is part of nature's great turning, the wheel that never truly stops. To purify, in the old understanding, was a sacred thing. The vulture cleansed the land of what could no longer remain, and in doing so she protected every creature that lived on. Her work was holy precisely because it was so needed. Think of how the seasons turn, how autumn gives way to spring without sorrow. The vulture belongs to that same gentle rhythm, carrying the old aloft so the new may flourish below. Nothing is wasted, everything is welcomed home again. This is why she became a symbol of hope to ancient minds. Where others saw only endings, the wise saw a circle completing itself, a promise that life would continue. The vulture stood at that turning point, faithful and unafraid. Let this thought rest easy in you tonight. All things move in circles, and there is grace in every part of that motion. The vulture knew it long ago, and tonight, drifting toward sleep, perhaps you feel it too. In some mountain cultures high among the peaks, the vulture plays a sacred part in farewells. There she helps return the departed to the open sky, to the air and the light from which all life is borrowed. It is an old and reverent custom. These mountain peoples see the vulture's role as a final act of generosity. To be carried upward, given back to the heights, is understood as peaceful and dignified, a quiet giving back to the living world that sustained us all. It is a farewell without fear, gentle as the wind that lifts her. The departed rejoin the cycle of nature, becoming part of the sky they once gazed upon. In this view, nothing is lost. All is simply returned with tenderness. The vulture, then, is a kind companion at the threshold. She does her work with the same grace she brings to every flight, asking nothing, offering only this last, generous service to those who remain behind. Whatever your own beliefs may be, there is comfort in this idea. To return to the sky, to the wide and shining air, is a homecoming. Let that thought rest lightly on your heart as you settle deeper into the evening. For all this honor, the vulture is often misunderstood. Some imagine her as a creature of dread, a watcher of misfortune. Yet the truth is far kinder and worth holding close as the night deepens around you. The vulture does not hunt. She does not harm the living, nor stalk the weak, nor wish any creature ill. She arrives only afterward, to clean and to tend, to set the world in order once again. Hers is a healer's task, not a hunter's. And the circling bird overhead is not waiting for anything sad. She is not a sign of sorrow to come. She is only riding the warm air, climbing the invisible stairs of the sky, as she has always done and always will. Those slow rising circles are simply how she gains her height. The sun warms the ground, the air lifts, and she rides it upward without a single beat of her wings. It is flight and joy and nothing more than that. So let the old fears fall away tonight. The vulture means no harm and never did. Knowing her truly, we find not a creature to dread, but one to understand, and even to hold dear as you grow drowsy now. We owe these birds a measure of thanks, freely given and long overdue. They keep our world clean and healthy day after day, through a service we rarely see and seldom consider. Tonight, let us simply notice and be grateful. The vulture asks nothing in return for her work. No reward, no recognition, no thanks at all. She rises each morning and does what she was made to do, high above us, faithful to a duty older than memory. Her service is carried out unseen, far up in the bright and open air. While we go about our days below, she circles in the heights, tending the world quietly, keeping it whole on our behalf. We scarcely know how much we owe. To know the vulture truly is to admire her. Once we set aside our old mistaken fears, what remains is a creature of grace, of usefulness, of remarkable devotion. Understanding her, we cannot help but hold her in esteem. Carry this gratitude with you into sleep, soft and uncomplaining as the bird herself. Let it be a kind last thought, a thank you offered to a guardian who will never hear it, yet has earned it many times over. Now let your mind grow still and picture a single evening sky. The day is ending, and the light has turned to gold, pouring warm across the hills and valleys. The air is calm, the world below has settled into rest. High above, one vulture circles in that golden light. She turns slowly, without effort, her wings spread wide upon the warm and rising air. There is no hurry in her, no struggle, only the easy grace of a creature wholly at home. Below her, the land lies peaceful and unhurried. Fields fade to shadow, rivers catch the last of the sun, and all is quiet across the wide and gentle earth. Everything that needed doing has been done. The evening holds it all. Watch her turn, slow circle after slow circle, smaller and higher with each pass. She climbs the golden air as the light deepens, a dark and graceful shape against the glowing sky, serene above a world at rest. Let this image hold you now, warm and unhurried and complete. The circling bird, the golden light, the peaceful land below. Breathe it in and let it carry you toward the deep and welcome rest that waits ahead. Stay a while longer with that quiet sky. The vulture circles still higher now, a small calm shape riding the fading warmth of the day. She needs nothing more than this, and neither in this moment do you. Feel how your breathing has slowed to match her turning, in and out, easy as the air that lifts her wings. There is nowhere to be, nothing to hold, only this long, slow circle carrying you both gently downward into rest. The gold is deepening now to amber, and amber to a soft and dusky blue. The vulture fades into the coming evening, her work complete, her flight untroubled, her place in the great wide world entirely secure. Let your thoughts grow as light as she is, lifted and loosened, floating free. Whatever the day asked of you is finished. You may set it all down now, here beneath this peaceful and forgiving sky. Sleep is near, and it is kind. Let it come the way the evening comes to the hills, slowly and surely, without a single thing required of you. The guardian circles above, and all below is safe and well and still. We have wandered far together, you and I, through the wide and shining world of the vulture. Now our journey gently closes, here in the last warm light, with the guardian circling softly overhead. It is time to rest. Hold the kind things you have learned tonight. A bird honored across the ages, a keeper of the world, a generous and misunderstood friend of the sky. Let these be your final thoughts, warm and reassuring as sleep draws near. The vulture asks nothing of you, and tonight neither does the world. You have only to breathe and let go and sink into the soft welcome of your rest. Everything is cared for. Everything is exactly as it should be. From all of us at the Circadian Institute, thank you for spending this evening with us. May your sleep be deep, your dreams be peaceful, and your rest restore you fully before the morning light returns. Now close your eyes and let the golden sky fade gently into darkness. The guardian keeps her watch above. Sleep well, rest easy, and good night. Good night from the Circadian Institute. Good night. Our slow journey among the guardians of the sky is over now, and you have done the only thing it asked of you, which was to rest. There is nothing to keep and no fact to carry into the light. The whole quiet voyage was only ever a soft place to set yourself down. If you are still awake, let there be no worry in it. Remain here in the warm hush a while longer, breathing slow, held by the same calm that holds the soaring birds. Sleep arrives the way evening does, not when forced, but when the air grows still enough to allow it. And if you are drifting now at the soft edge of sleep, let yourself go completely. The vultures will settle to their roosts. The warm air will cool toward night, and morning will arrive in its own unhurried hour, exactly when it should. Thank you for spending this night with us, here at the Circadian Institute, soaring with the quiet guardians of the sky. Sleep now and sleep deeply. The wide and gentle air holds you, and you are perfectly at home beneath it. Good night, and the deepest of good rests to you.